everything with everyone at at once, right? Because moving is a huge thing. It's a huge thing. It's a lot of change. It's a lot of different things that you just simply can't prepare for. You cannot prepare for no matter how much preparation you do. Because I consider myself a pretty spiritually preparing person, praying, writing things down. I definitely encourage anyone that's moving abroad to write the vision down and make it plain. That's a huge thing that we made sure that we did was write everything down so that you know what to pray.
Absolutely, yes.
So I know a lot of you all want to hear from Mr. And if you know, that's what I call him on here because I don't like to always share all our personal information. So you always hear me say Mr. I got that from, I think it was Sex in the City or something a long time ago. But anywho, I want to ask you, I know it was difficult leaving the teaching, leaving your kids who you've been teaching, and every year they go to the next grade, but they still come back and check on you. They threw you a parade. How has it? I know that's your norm, seeing them every day. What goes through your mind when you think about it? Because I know you said you recently had a thought about them.
Yeah, I think about them a lot. I think about the people I used to work with, the people I interact with every day. I knew you do it for so many years, and you're away from them. You start like during the day, you like, well, around this time of the day, we be doing such right now. Stuff like that. Let you know that you miss it, you miss them. You know, uh,
How was the flight? You took a approximately 2 days of flying, right?
yeah,
The flight was started on like a Tuesday to Thursday, and we did fly through Doha. So a lot of people I know that there has been bombing in Doha and bombing in um, what is it? Dubai. We were there a couple of days before, like right before it happened. We were there a couple of days before. So knowing that that happened and we were in the airport in Doha, that's where we landed and we took Qatar Airways. How did that make you feel? How were the people there, first of all, in the Qatar Airways?
they're friendly people. Helpful. Very busy though, but they still have the time to be helpful. Good people.
Yeah, we hate seeing the fighting there because they were so welcoming. They made sure on the flight we had a 13 and a half. Ah! Is there a bug on me? There's a bug on me. Oh my God, get it off.
Let's go.
Get it off.
Let's go.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Can you make sure it's nothing on my back? Okay. I don't like bugs. So you guys caught me in that moment. I don't know where that bug came from, but okay. So Qatar Airways, the flight was 13 and a half hours. They gave us a lot of food, drinks, very good food.
Yeah.
Very good food. We had meals, so we didn't have just snacks. They fed us. Um, what else? Um, we definitely the seats were together, so you were sitting up the whole time. But you kind of didn't realize it because we were able to watch movies on Qatar Airways. Everyone dresses like they're in the 70s or 80s, or they have a dress code with the burgundy, with
Yeah,
the
they just
hats. It
matching
was
the
so
theme with
cute.
the plane.
Yeah, it was super cute. Very professional.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you lots of food and snacks. You don't really, did you realize we had been on the flight for 13 and a half hours?
Mm, yes, but it was
Okay.
nothing they could have done about that. Because you sit down for so long. I'm used to getting up. You know, but sit down for 13 straight hours. That was kind of a little much for my body.
Well, so what they did for me was they provided a seat in the middle between me and your mom. So we had space to kind of elevate our legs at times.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. I would suggest anybody that has to do a flight abroad and you know it's going to be that long because we are in Africa. So to get from America to Africa, I would suggest definitely asking them to put you near an empty seat because I saw someone that got 3 rows and he was the only one and he was able to lay down. So I think that's one thing I would do differently is make sure that my husband had a seat that was predominantly empty so he'd have some space. But he chose to sit with the kids. He had one, his son on one side, his daughter on the other, and that was enough space for him. He wanted to be near them. Um, and we were in the middle, so we weren't near the window, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So how many flights did we take to get from America to Africa?
It was three.
3 planes.
3 planes.
3 planes. And one plane was like a jet, like a personal plane. It was very, very, we had to walk onto the tarmac. We had to walk onto where the plane was. It wasn't like, you're walking the ramp way to the plane. No, you're walking out to the plane. You got to climb onto the plane like a personal jet.
Yeah.
And board the plane. So that was very interesting because that was a different experience. And while a lot of people love that because they love to have that experience, we were actually a little nervous about it because we had a lot of bags
Mhm.
and we didn't want to weigh the plane down. So I would definitely say we had too many bags.
Yeah, they put it on another plane. It wasn't on with us.
That's too many bags. So I would encourage you that if you are flying abroad, travel with as minimal bags as possible. That bagging, flying is always a good idea. I understand when you get where you're going, especially if you're planning on moving there, you want to have your bags and stuff with you. But I honestly would encourage you, if you don't have to have it, don't worry about it. If you guys have not clicked like and subscribe, do it now because we will be providing answers to questions about visas, how you can move abroad and legally stay in the country so you can minimize your passport runs and all of that good stuff. Yeah. So, was Africa everything that you thought it would be? What preconceived notions did you have about Africa?
I don't know. I guess that was mostly rural area, but it's not. Do they have those areas? Yes. But there's so much more. So much land. There's so much. You have like rural areas. You have city areas. You have just so many areas. There's so many faces to Africa. So it met my expectations and more. And we haven't seen everything yet.
That's true. What is the biggest shock to you when you landed in Africa? What has been the biggest shock so far? This is good, bad, and ugly. So share the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I would guess probably. Let's see.
Because I know Khalees talked about the infrastructure that there's, it's still developing infrastructure. They're still fixing the roads. They're still fixing things like that. The power outages are still things like that. Artisha, I see the cup near the stove. Push the cup away from the stove, please. So would you say that was shocking for you, or was it the tuk-tuks? Because in America we don't have tuk-tuks. So let me explain what tuk-tuks are, or you can explain it.
I never rode it when I've seen them.
You haven't rode in the tuk-tuk yet? Oh, we rode in it today. So the tuk-tuk, we've been riding in the tuk-tuk. Part of our family, not all of them, but the tuk-tuk gives a ride for about 3 people. It's almost like a motorcycle, but it's a um, 3-wheel vehicle, and it's like a bike with a riding thing that you can get in and sit in the back, and they sit in the front. And so it seats 4, but it's 3 in the back and 1 person driving, and it's like a little motorbike. And it's like a carriage, like you see, like in um uh
Like a really small hatchback with 3 wheels.
yeah, it's like a little bike though, and it gets you. The tuk-tuk is a kind of like the way that they go. Now people also ride the motorcycles,
See a lot of that.
and they ride the back of it to work, and then that's how they get to work. So the tuk-tuks, the motorbikes, those are the common modes of transportation. People do have cars here, and but again, it's kind of common to just take the tuk-tuk where you need to go. So the tuk-tuk is not expensive. Um, you could take the tuk-tuk for a few dollars, depending on where you're going. It depends on how far you're going and what you're taking with you. But yeah, I definitely also, most people here in Africa do speak English as well as their language, but they will encourage you to learn their language. They'll share not their knowledge with you so you're not lost there. Um, it's expensive to ship your items from America to Africa, so keep that in mind. A lot of people are unaware of that part. They think that they just simply can't ship items, but you can, but it does cost. Um, yeah, so let me ask you this. The one thing that shocked you about Africa that you didn't know that you realized that you've been here.
I guess driving on the opposite side of the road with the steering wheel's on the opposite side. You know, I
Mm.
kept getting confused when I go to the car. You know, I'm thinking hopping in the passenger seat, I'm hopping in the driver's seat.
That was funny. Now, I also do like that when you turn out onto the highway, I'm thinking we're crossing a lane. So now in the United States, in order for us to go out to the highway, we have to pass incoming traffic to go that way.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we're making a left, if we're making a left, you have to go. So oncoming traffic is going this way, and you're going out to make a left. You have to wait till it's. Oh, you have to wait till it's clear to make that left. Like you have to wait till this car is passed to make that left. So you got to pass oncoming traffic. But here in Africa, it's the opposite. So when you're going to make a left, you're making a left right onto. You're not having a crossover
mm,
oncoming traffic. And I think that's pretty cool.
mm,
The only time you cross over is actually when you're like making a right,
mm.
whereas we cross over when we make a left. So I think that's interesting. I'm pretty sure it's because they drive on the opposite side of the road too. So they don't just drive with their wheel on the opposite side, they also drive on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that because it really shocked me. I was like, wait. And then I'm like, oh, they're going the opposite lane. So I had to learn that. So yeah, also they bob and weave.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked by that. The bob and weaving is getting me.
Yeah. There's no traffic rules, like no light, no traffic lights. You just get it how you can.
Yeah, there's no traffic lights. There's no stop signs. Yeah, but they have more symmetry.
Mm.
I feel like we have more accidents without all of those things, with all of those things, than they do without.
Yeah. Yeah. There's very few accidents I've seen.
But it is a lot of traffic. I think a lot of people don't know it is a lot of traffic. Well, we hope that this has answered some of your questions. If you have any additional questions, click follow, like, and subscribe, and comment below, and we will be happy to answer your questions in our next live and next video. Stay tuned. God bless. Bye.